FBI agents were mocking Maya's story about her SEAL mother. They ridiculed her for 3 straight hours. Then the door opened and 5 uniformed SEALs walked in. The color drained from the agents' faces. Welcome to Hidden Story, where we uncover the extraordinary lives hiding in plain sight. Before we dive into this powerful story of family loyalty and ultimate vindication, tell us in the comments, have you ever defended someone when nobody believed you? And if you believe stories like these deserve to be remembered, hit that subscribe button and help us ensure they're never forgotten. Maya Rodriguez sat in the cold interrogation room, her black fingernails chipped from nervous picking. The 17-year-old had never imagined she'd be sitting across from FBI agent Harrison, but here she was, defending actions that had seemed so reasonable just days ago. "Let's go through this again," Agent Harrison said, his voice dripping with condescension. "You hacked into classified Defense Department servers. That's a federal crime, Miss Rodriguez." Maya pushed her dark hair away from her face. "I told you already. I was looking for information about my mother." Agent Carson, the only woman in the room, looked up from her notes but remained silent as Harrison continued his interrogation. "Your mother," Harrison repeated flatly. "The woman who abandoned you and your father 5 years ago. She didn't abandon us." "She was deployed," Maya said, her voice growing quieter but more determined. "Special operations." Harrison exchanged that look with the other agents, the kind adults give each other when a child says something particularly naive. Maya had grown accustomed to that look over the past 5 years. "I know she's active duty. I know she's somewhere classified. I was just trying to find—" "You were trying to hack federal databases," Harrison interrupted. "That's what we know for certain." Maya's hands clenched beneath the table. 5 years of questions, 5 years of her father's depression, 5 years of defending a mother who seemed to have vanished without a trace. "My mother is a Navy SEAL," she said quietly. The silence lasted only a moment before Harrison burst into laughter. He actually turned away, beckoning 2 other agents from outside. They entered, curiosity evident on their faces. "Gentlemen, you've got to hear this," Harrison said, still chuckling. "Our teenage hacker says her mom is a Navy SEAL." The new agents chuckled appreciatively as Harrison continued. "Someone should inform the Department of Defense that they've been doing it wrong. Women aren't permitted in Navy SEAL units. It's literally impossible." "Maybe she's been watching too many movies," one agent suggested. "Or trying to sound important," added another. Harrison turned back to Maya, whose eyes now glistened with tears of anger and humiliation. "Your mother abandoned you and your father. Creating this fantasy doesn't change reality." Agent Carson shifted uncomfortably but remained silent as the men continued their mockery. "I'm not lying," Maya whispered, but no one was listening anymore. For the next 3 hours, the interrogation intensified. Harrison used Maya's fabrication about her mother to undermine everything else she said. Each denial was met with condescending smiles, each explanation dismissed before she could finish. "Maybe we should have you psychologically evaluated," Harrison threatened, clearly enjoying the power dynamic. "Father with depression, mother abandonment issues, pathological lying. You're building quite a profile." Maya stared at the table, exhausted. They had given her 1 cup of water hours ago, and her throat felt painfully dry. The room seemed to be getting smaller with each passing minute. "Your mother isn't a hero," Harrison said, leaning across the table. "She's just gone, and making up stories won't bring her back." Agent Carson's phone suddenly buzzed. Her expression changed as she read the message, color draining from her face. She stood abruptly and whispered something to Harrison. "Not now," Harrison snapped, dismissing her with an irritated wave. "Sir, I really think—" Carson tried again, her voice carrying unexpected urgency. "I said not now," Harrison interrupted, turning back to Maya. "Where were we?" "Ah, yes, your mother, the Navy SEAL." Maya had stopped responding, tears silently streaming down her face. Through the window she could see Carson speaking urgently with someone in the hallway, someone whose face she couldn't make out. Commotion began outside. Raised voices, radio chatter, the sound of heavy boots in the hallway. Harrison, focused on breaking Maya, ignored it all. "Your mother isn't coming to save you," he said cruelly. "She's just gone." The door opened. Carson stepped in, her face pale. "Sir, you need to stop now. I told you I'm not finished. They're here." "Who's here?" Carson swallowed hard. "Naval Special Warfare Command. They've ordered immediate cessation of this interrogation." Before Harrison could respond, the door swung fully open. Commander Lisa Rodriguez stood in full naval uniform, her presence immediately commanding the room. Behind her stood 4 other SEALs, 3 men and another woman, all in uniform, their faces expressionless, but their posture radiating controlled authority. Harrison's face transitioned through confusion, disbelief, and finally dawning horror as he realized his mistake. He stood abruptly, knocking his chair backward. "I believe you've been questioning my daughter," Commander Rodriguez stated, her voice calm but razor-edged, "without parental consent, about classified information she could not possibly possess." A man in a suit stepped forward. "I'm Deputy Director Morrison of Naval Intelligence. The existence of Joint Special Operations Team Sierra is classified above your pay grade, Agent Harrison. Far above it." Maya stared at her mother, the woman she'd barely seen in 5 years, the woman whose career she'd defended despite endless mockery. Their eyes met across the room, and Maya saw something she hadn't expected, her mother's composure cracking slightly, revealing the pain beneath. Commander Rodriguez approached Maya, her teammates maintaining position at the door. She placed a gentle hand on her daughter's shoulder. "I'm sorry they put you through this," she said softly, then turned to Harrison. "Agent, you will release my daughter into my custody immediately." Harrison stammered, his earlier arrogance completely evaporated. "Commander, there seems to be a misunderstanding. We had reason to believe your daughter was involved in cybersecurity breaches." "I'm aware of what my daughter was searching for," Commander Rodriguez interrupted. "And why?" One of the male SEALs at the door spoke up. "Commander Rodriguez doesn't need your explanation. She needs her daughter." Deputy Director Morrison stepped forward. "What your daughter attempted to access, Ms. Rodriguez, was information related to a program that officially does not exist. Female Navy SEALs do not exist in any public record, nor will they ever, which is why your mockery of this young woman was not only unprofessional, but dangerously close to compromising national security." Harrison's face had gone ashen. "I had no way of knowing." "Precisely," Morrison cut him off. "You had no way of knowing, which is why interrogating a minor about classified military operations without proper clearance was a grievous error in judgment." Maya watched this exchange in stunned silence. For 5 years, she'd carried her mother's secret, never fully understanding it herself. For 5 years, she had endured disbelief and pity. And now, everything she had insisted was true had been validated in the most dramatic way possible. Agent Carson, who had tried to intervene earlier, finally approached. "Commander Rodriguez, I apologize for the treatment of your daughter." "But you didn't intervene when you thought I was lying," Maya said quietly, finding her voice. "You just sat there." Carson had the decency to look ashamed. "You're right. I should have stopped it regardless." Commander Rodriguez's hand tightened on Maya's shoulder. "My daughter will be coming with me now." Morrison produced a stack of papers from his briefcase. "Everyone in this room will need to sign additional non-disclosure agreements. What you've learned today about Commander Rodriguez's unit does not leave this room." As the agents signed the documents, Commander Rodriguez knelt beside Maya's chair. Up close, Maya could see the exhaustion behind her mother's eyes, the kind that comes from years of carrying secrets. "I never thought I'd see you again," Maya whispered. I never left you, her mother answered softly. Not in the ways that matter. Then why did you stay away? That's a longer conversation and not one for here. She glanced at the agents still in the room. Can you walk? Maya nodded, standing on shaky legs. Her mother offered her arm for support. As they moved toward the door, Harrison made one final attempt. Commander, regardless of your position, your daughter did attempt to breach classified systems. There have to be consequences. The mountain-like SEAL at the door stepped forward. The consequences, Agent Harrison, will be determined by naval intelligence, not the FBI. In the elevator, Maya finally asked, How did you know I was here? I've had alerts set for any queries about me in federal databases, her mother answered quietly. When you triggered them, I came as fast as I could. From where? The elevator doors opened before her mother could answer. As they left the building, Maya felt a strange mixture of relief and apprehension. She was free, but now faced a reality she had only imagined for years. I never lied about you, Maya said quietly, even when no one believed me. Her mother's professional composure finally cracked completely. She stopped walking and pulled Maya into an embrace that lasted several minutes. I know, she whispered. That's why I came. 3 months later, Maya stood on the porch of a secure cabin, watching another government vehicle approach. Her mother had been reassigned to a training position that allowed limited family contact. The reunion wasn't perfect or easy. 5 years of separation couldn't be healed overnight. But for the first time since her mother had disappeared, Maya felt something like hope. Her phone buzzed with a message from Agent Carson, who'd been checking in regularly since that day in the interrogation room. This time, it contained an internship offer with the FBI's cyber division. We need more people who stand by the truth even when no one believes them. Maya looked at her mother, who was approaching the cabin in civilian clothes, looking more relaxed than she had in years. You know, Maya said as they embraced, next time someone doesn't believe me about you, I'm just going to smile and let them think what they want. Her mother smiled back. The strongest people I know never needed anyone else to believe in them. They just needed to believe in themselves. As they walked inside together, Maya realized she had learned something about courage that no classroom could teach. Sometimes the most important battles are fought not with weapons, but with unwavering loyalty to the truth, even when the whole world tells you you're wrong. If this story moved you, please hit that subscribe button and share it with others. Help us ensure these tales of quiet courage and family loyalty reach the people who need to hear them. Thank you for watching Hidden Story. We'll see you in the next story, where another lesson waits to be learned, another truth waits to be revealed, and another reminder awaits that sometimes the most important victories happen when someone finally gets to say, I told you so.